What up?
We are DV, and today is Monday, March 17th, St. Patty's Day.
Patty's Day, and we will be celebrating.
So what up to all my Irish people out there representing, getting drunk, getting fucked up,
So,
no judgment, celebrate.
on another topic though, today it's a rainy day, right? And you know, sometimes people get a little sad and sometimes they're by themselves, right? On days like this, and it just gave me the idea about how I Googled something about loneliness, and what I realized is I saw a statistic about the fact that, did you realize that 20% of people in America feel loneliness at least once a day? 20%. And then I also saw that 30% of people in America feel loneliness at least once a week. 30% once a week. That's pretty heavy, right? That's a lot of lonely motherfuckers, right? So, are you experiencing loneliness? Do you ever experience loneliness? Are you experiencing it today? Right? Are you? Let me know in the comments. That loneliness made me realize, brought up another question. It's something that I'm actually considering, right? It's a question I'm considering myself, being somebody who was in a relationship. And the topic is struggling alone. Go ahead.
Is it better to struggle by yourself, or is it better to struggle with someone?
Right.
I've personally been in both situations.
Right.
Up until as of like within the last 2 years of my life, I've always been in a relationship. I've always been a relationship guy.
It's true.
I always had girlfriends and I always end up living with them. You know, we lived together. So that was my life for a long time, right? I was always used to doing that. So when it came to going through certain situations, I always had a girlfriend there to kind of like maybe, I guess, cushion the landing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean? Like just a little bit extra support. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not judging it one way or another, because for me, it worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? It was something that it just kind of happened naturally. It wasn't something that I planned for it to be that way. It just worked out that way. And I very much appreciated the companionship and the extra support when I was down, you know, or I was going through a type of financial struggle. I had somebody that was down to help me out financially. You know what I'm saying? Just some extra support. Just when you're not feeling the best, when you're feeling down. I appreciate when I had a girlfriend there to be like, you know, put her hand on my back, it's gonna be okay. Right. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Now, when you're going through these sort of things, these type of struggles as a man by yourself, it is fucking rough. It's cold because the world don't give a fuck about your problems. You know, not even your peoples, your family, your mom and your dad, your brother, your sister, your kid. They looking at you like, you grown, you all right, you be all right. You know, they don't know, one cares. The world don't care. The government don't give a fuck. You know, they just want their money at the end of the day, because paying bills and all this other shit, they want their money. You know, don't give a fuck about your financial issues. If you feeling down today about, you know, you and your girl broke up, people don't necessarily give a fuck, and not in the world, you know. If it's somebody that really knows you like that, and they got an ear and they listening to you, you know. But for the most part, no one cares. They got their own problems, you know what I'm saying? It hits different when you're by yourself and you're struggling, because you may want to just be able to express yourself. Ain't nobody there on the left, ain't nobody there on the right to hear you say what you got to say. So so you got to get used to talking to yourself and being your own best friend, you know, your own coach, your own motivational coach. You know, you got to be your own shit. In some cases, as a kid, you might have to be your own mom and dad, you know. So the struggle goes deep for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. But
and speaking on a lot of different ways, I would say my experience is a little different from his.
Yeah.
So when I spent a lot of time being out of relationships. I was single for a long time. I think I've been more single than I've been in relationships. At least not long ones. I was like very short relationships. I spent a lot of single time up until now. And when I was by myself a lot, I did go through all the same type of, you know, things that he was just talking about, the ups and downs and all that kind of stuff, financially, emotionally, you know what I'm saying, through health. And yeah, you do go through those moments. I went through those moments of kind of wishing I had to help sometimes, but but mind you, I went through it so much by myself that after a while, I mastered that shit. I got really good at it, and I didn't want, and less and less I longed for someone to help me go through it, because I had already gotten so used to no one being there for me, so I learned to do it on my own. And then when I finally did get into relationships, the times I were in relationships, that were probably maybe like a year, usually about a year or so, committed relationships, I should say that, I felt like they were a hindrance to me. Because now I was so adapted to going through these things by myself and thinking for myself that when this person tried to, let's say, they called themselves helping, really just became a hindrance for me, you know? Also, I felt like it was a hindrance now because I'm so used to thinking about for myself that, and I'll say the struggle, let's take the struggle topic, right? Struggling by myself, struggling, mind you, by myself, the struggles got less and less and lesser too. I want to say that. But when I was in a relationship, it almost felt like the struggle became more. It increased. The struggle increased. Why? Because now I'm looking out for two people. I'm looking out for two people financially. I'm looking out for two people emotionally. At least that's how I felt, because I'm responsible for how I feel, and then also I'm responsible for how she feels. Mm-hmm. At least that was my experience. Mm-hmm. I got to worry about what I say. I got to worry about how I move, how it's going to affect her now. Mm-hmm. As opposed to I just got to worry about myself, how I feel. I got to worry about pleasing me, and that's it. So it was taxing in so many different ways. So I feel like with me being with somebody through the struggle, I feel like the struggle got worse. I feel like the struggle got worse. It increased as opposed to got less. It got lesser and lesser. When I'm by myself, I know how to handle my problems. I know what's going to trigger me. I know what's not. I know what's going to work for me. I know what's not going to work for me. I know myself. But when I'm with someone, I've got to carry on two people, I feel like. Now I got to worry about what's going to do this for them. I got to worry, how it's going to make them feel. Mm-hmm. It just slows me down. I feel like it does. It increases the struggle, So it's my experience is a little different from his, because I felt like that it didn't feel like extra help. I'm not saying that going through a struggle with somebody won't help you, but I have never experienced that. My struggle with someone else feels like extra baggage. So I say it's better to go through the struggle by yourself.
For sure.
As opposed to going through a struggle with someone else. I can do bad all by myself. You guys heard that before. And I am a big believer in that.
Yeah.
At least I can handle this struggle by myself as opposed to with somebody else. Because like I said, I feel like another person adds to that struggle. If they're going through a struggle with you, then why have another person struggle with you? It increases that feeling, increases that struggle to me.
Yeah. Nowadays I agree with that very much so, because just mainly I realize, like, at the end of the day, someone going through it with you only kind of could end up being more of a crutch, right? Whether emotionally or financially, because at the end of the day, you're really not doing yourself no favors. You might as well, in my opinion, just go through it, and no matter how rough it gets, as long as you come out okay at the end of the day, you're gonna be stronger for it. You're gonna be smarter for it. Right. You're gonna be less fearful. You're gonna be more brave because of it, because you already been through it. Right. Now you know. You know what I mean? Now at that point, for me, when I went through my little struggles, like, for example, when I was homeless by myself with nobody, I literally became fearless. It's already scary enough sleeping out on the street with rats and crackheads and all types of wild ass people in LA fucking with you while you're sleeping. That's a whole nother type of trusting in myself. That's a whole nother type of fearlessness. That's a whole nother type of fuck it. Whatever happens, happens.
Now imagine going through that with someone else.
With someone else. Now, that could be a great thing, depending on who you are. Some people just ain't built for that, to go through no type of shit like that by themselves. Or some people ain't even built to go through it with somebody. At the end of the day,
I don't think I'm built to go through it with somebody.
I don't think I am either. Yeah. It's a trip when I see, like, couples that are homeless.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, bro, I mean, really? Because first thing I thought about when I was the other day, I was going to the grocery store and I saw a homeless couple. First thing I thought to myself is, never. Only because I've already been through it by myself, but at least when I'm by myself, I don't have to worry about nobody else going through it. Right. That's just how my brain works. Right. I don't like to see nobody else suffer. Right. I don't want to suffer either, but it's harder on me emotionally. It's more taxing to see somebody else suffering. Right. I don't care who it is. I don't want to see nobody go through that. Right. So at least I can focus on myself and only provide for myself. Right. It's more taxing for me to see someone else go through it, right. Especially a woman. Right. I don't like seeing no woman struggle at all. Right. Old, young, fat, skinny, little, big, none of that. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't want to see no woman out here struggling for nothing, right. And it's just a trip when I see a struggle, a man with his woman and letting her go through that. I'm not judging it. I just say it's just a trip to me. I'm gonna go through what I go through, but I'm not gonna have her going through that.
Exactly.
I'm not doing
I would
it.
have to set her free.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, look, you gotta go your own way.
That's
I'm
what I
not
would
about
do.
to have you sitting here struggling with
I
me.
said, come holler back when we get back on our feet or something. Or when
Right.
I can get on mine, then we can do
Exactly.
something.
Right.
But there's no sense in two of us struggling,
Right.
especially as a man and a woman.
Exactly.
A woman has a function that she can get up out there and make shit happen her own way.
Right.
A man can do the same thing in his own manly way.
His own way,
I just
right.
feel like, what's the point of man and woman being together struggling?
Right.
No, we're supposed to be able to make this shit together. And if we can't do that, then we need to separate
Right.
so we can get back on our feet. That's how I look at
Come
it.
back together when we're stronger. You know what I
So
mean?
yeah, my take on that, I think it's much better to do it by yourself, you know. And it don't even got to be as extreme as being homeless. I mean, it could be as just as much as you in college, you a college student, and now you know you
Yeah,
got
there's different types of struggles,
Yeah,
for
you're a new student, new college, new school, new town, new city,
Right.
And you don't know nobody. Well, your first year may be very rough, but it's supposed to be so you can build character, so you can build yourself up, learn what's this, what's that,
Right.
what not to do, what you can do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Doing that with somebody is a
It'll
crutch.
be and
It's
a distraction.
And a
Especially
distraction.
for a young
Ooh,
person
and a
starting to
distraction.
get self-established.
Right.
You going in with a girlfriend your first year in college?
Right.
Oh man, I
Take
think
it from
that's a
me,
loss.
It's gonna distract you. Take it from me.
I agree.
You know
I
what
think
mean?
so too.
And another one, if you're a person who, let's say you're like mentality like me, who's like, let's say money minded, right? Let's say you're working on, I'm gonna hustle by myself right now. I'm on my grind, right? Trying to get your finances together.
Right.
Well, I'm telling you, once again, from my experience, a girlfriend will distract you from that. Okay? I don't care who it is. I don't care if she has money or doesn't have money. I'm just saying, from my experience, from my insight, from what I've seen, from the outside looking in, from being inside this experience, a girlfriend will always distract you from that. If you're on a mission, matter of fact, I'll even say it a different way. If you're a man on a mission, in any kind of mission, I think you should achieve that goal first, then get a girlfriend. But doing it with them, I've tried it with the girlfriend, and it's always drags me down. I don't know what your experience is. Matter of fact, if you've had experiences, let me know in the comments. I want to know, does it work for you? Because I can't get it to work for me, and I've accepted at 40 years old, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to do it by myself because I've always seen great results when I do it by myself. Now, when I reach that goal, I think I'm going to get back into a situation like that again, and that's what I suggest to you. Reach your goal first by yourself. Then you can go on and join forces with somebody else. Then you can bring that up even further, right?
Yeah.
And then, by the way, if you're going to join forces with somebody, make sure they're at that level that you are.
Right.
Or higher. Otherwise, it's a no-go.
That way you can be each other's crutches.
Right.
And that way you're not taking just from her or she's not taking just from you.
Right.
It's just that if one of y'all fall short, because there will be fluctuations in life.
Right.
You know, that
For
she
sure.
can help balance it out a little bit and vice versa.
Right. Then I think it makes sense. But if you're on a mission, you got to go, get that goal first. Get to that goal, then do it. But anything else, but getting with somebody, getting a partner, I'm not even gonna say even a girlfriend. If you're a same-sex situation, same thing. Mm-hmm. Getting a partner is just going to drag you down.
Right.
I think it's best to stay focused by yourself.
Yeah.
There's a reason why loneliness exists. There's a reason why they talk about solitude when it comes to reaching goals and success. Solitude is where it's at. I really believe that now. I've done both, and I've seen the differences. And I think I always get more successful when I do it by myself. I'm not saying forever, but I'm saying temporarily, take time to be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go through that struggle by yourself. Loneliness is not a sad thing. People need to what's the word I'm looking for? Reevaluate what that word really means. You know what I mean? Because people I think people have always given that word alone or loneliness a negative connotation.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've never seen it that way.
Well,
maybe because I'm a loner at heart anyway. I don't know.
Well, I think it's a difference between being lonely and being alone.
Alone, right.
Being alone is one thing in terms of being like, to me, it's just being a loner. It's a third person who can stand on their own too without necessarily needing anybody there or needing any extra support, so to speak. That is what it's like to be alone. Alone means it could be when you chose to be, you know. Lonely is a feeling. Right. You know, because you could be around people and still feel lonely. I have. Right. It's an unfortunate feeling to be around all these people and to really feel like you're just not connecting with anyone. Right. That's lonely. Right. And I don't wish that on no one. It sucks. It's a terrible feeling. That's why I believe connection is important. I believe we're meant to connect with people.
Right.
But I've been on both. I've been both. I've been lonely and I've been alone. But alone doesn't necessarily mean bad. It doesn't equate to anything negative necessarily.
Right.
I just want to say that.
Now, on the other side of this whole conversation, struggling alone versus struggling with somebody, let's talk about the positive parts of going through the struggle with somebody. Back to what I was saying, struggling with somebody can work if you guys are at least at the same level.
Yeah.
If you're at the same level, let's say your basic needs are already being met, so we're not struggling there. Because I feel like if you're at a level where your basic needs aren't even being met, you don't need to be with nobody.
Yeah.
You need to really get your shit together by yourself first.
Yeah.
But if you're past that stage of getting your basic needs met,
right,
and we're talking about a higher level now of living, right?
Like, you've got all the needs, you got all the basic things taken care of,
and then along with some excess as well.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say you're living at that part of your life, at least that, right?
Yeah.
Then I think along with your goals, you got your goals still. Where to take this higher, right? To scale it up. And if you find somebody, a partner who's got that same type of mentality, that same goal, then getting with somebody, joining forces with somebody, I think is a great idea.
Right.
I actually think it's the next step. I think that's what you should do.
Right. That's the next level, yeah.
Then, because even businesses do it.
Yeah.
Businesses do their own thing until they grow to a certain level. And what do? They merge.
Right.
They collaborate.
Right.
To bring this goal, but you gotta have the same goal, right? Because I've tried that as well. But me and this person had different goals.
Right.
We had different priorities.
Yeah.
Our priorities were different. What was important for me was not important for her. What was important for her was not important for me. Our priorities were different. Yeah, we might have had we talked like we had the same goals, but our priorities to get there, what we thought was more important to get to this so-called goal, this so-called common goal, were way different. And it's not because of what we said, it's because what I saw. The action is what told what was really about. My actions were this, her actions were that. So that's all I needed to know based on what I saw, what I saw happen, the results. So yes, there are some positives to this joining forces with struggling with a partner. But you got to have the same goal, you got to have the same priorities, and you got to be at different levels of life, at the same levels of very similar levels of life. That's what I think. So there are positives. I'm not going to shit on completely on struggling with a partner, because there are some benefits, but there's some caveats to that, is what I'm trying to say. There's some details that have to come with that if you're gonna struggle or go through something with someone. You know what I'm saying? There are some benefits though, but you gotta have those things in place. You gotta be at the same level of life, living place at life, gotta have the same goals, gotta have the same priorities as well.
Yeah, and you can't be selfish. You have to be willing to compromise.
Right.
Not pretend to, but really compromise.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you have to not be who you are. It just means that you have to be willing to give or take a little bit.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
That's what balance really is anyway.
Right.
Especially in relationships.
And that's another thing, back to the whole struggling alone though. If you know you're a person who's a selfish person, then just go ahead and just off the rip, you already know you need to be doing it by yourself.
Right.
Because then you're going to really be bringing someone else down. If you're a selfish person, but then you want them, you call yourself having a partner, but you can't go through that with someone and then still be thinking about yourself all the time. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So if you know that's about yourself, you need to know that, you need to do that by yourself.
Yeah.
Because it just ain't going to work.
So look, we talked about struggling alone or with someone, right? Which one's better? Well, we talked about how struggling with someone can help you. Balance things out, can help you reach another level in life. Right. Could help you gain new experiences, which is always great. That's what life's about.
Right.
And we talked about the negative side of it, of being with someone can also get in your way and help become a distraction and a hindrance as opposed to actually helping you.
Right.
Now, me personally, I think it's better to do it myself. Go through the struggle by yourself. Be the loner, be brave. It'll help you become stronger. It'll help build you up. You know what I mean? You'll get to know you better at the end of the goddamn day. And that's what this is really all about. Getting to know you deeper, learning you better, loving you better. You know what I'm saying? It's all about self-love at the end of the day, man. But you got to get to them levels. You got to be broken down to build back up. Sometimes it works to do it with someone. Sometimes it's better to do it by yourself. You know what I mean? From my personal experience, that's all I can tell you. I think it's better to do it by yourself. whatever you're going through, trying a new venture, you're doing something, whatever it is, you're struggling financially, you're trying a whole new health adventure, do it by yourself. Don't tell everybody, don't go with a partner, build up by yourself, because it's only going to deepen the knowledge of you.
Right.
It's going to strengthen the strength of the love and trust of you, because that's all you got at the end of the day.
Right.
Don't play yourself. Love yourself. I love you. I love myself. But I love you because I love myself. You understand how that works? All right. Love yourself for yourself.
Also, like, subscribe, share this video, please. Right? Stay connected. All right? Be cool.